Here I am in my natural habitat, the deep woods of North Carolina. It is June, and Anthropic has had a messy week, to say the least. So if you're not up to speed, the quick and clear version is that they released Fable 5, which is the public version of Mythos 5, and a few things happened in rapid succession, and the situation is still developing. So by the time you see this, the situation might have changed. But here's what we know so far. The first big rupture is that it was discovered that Anthropic has implemented a hidden set of, let's say, guardrails, where the model will cripple its responses if it detects that you're doing something complex on AI or machine learning research pipelines. Ostensibly, this is to hamstring the model's ability to contribute to recursive self-improvement. Now, many people interpret this as Anthropic basically trying to hamstring or kneecap their competition, whether that is China or OpenAI or anyone else. However, as we'll get into in just a minute, my theory is a little bit different, that it's basically they're terrified of the FOOM hypothesis, and I'll explain that in just a second. The other major fallout is that Amazon, or a research team within Amazon, notified the government, the US government, of a jailbreak. And Anthropic, being Anthropic, refused to fix the jailbreak, saying that it was a minor issue. And so then the US Commerce Department issued a global ban on Anthropic being used by non-US citizens. And because Anthropic doesn't have a way of tracking which users are US citizens or not, they just issued a global ban on Mythos and Fable. Now, this all looks very dramatic and very irrational. Why not just fix a model and play ball? Well, Anthropic has main character syndrome. But to explain why they hamstrung the model in the first place, why they had it secretly route to an inferior model, basically what they were doing is, if you were using Fable to do AI ML research, it would route you to Opus 4.8, which is not a bad model, but it's also disingenuous. So that trashed developer confidence, and a lot of people were up in arms about it, and nobody is saying that Anthropic are the heroes this time around. It's a big case of FAFO, F around and find out. Well, they are finding out now. So here's my hypothesis as to why they are doing this. Anthropic has released many reports and many papers talking about the dangers of recursive self-improvement, and that this is the direction of travel that things are going in. And their own data, their own reports from a few weeks ago show that they had something like 52x improvement when you have developers using loops of development cycles. Who cares about the specific numbers? That's not the point. 80% of Anthropic's code for Claude was developed by Claude. So they're very close to recursive self-improvement. Now, it's important to remember that Anthropic is also fully cognitively captured, or ideologically captured, by effective altruism and less wrong thinking, which was founded by, you guessed it, Eliezer Yudkowsky. And Yudkowsky has had this hypothesis for a long time that he calls FOOM, or what we now call fast takeoff. And one of the primary milestones that would indicate that you're close to fast takeoff is achieving recursive self-improvement. Now, if you accept my hypothesis that Anthropic is terrified of recursive self-improvement because of fast takeoff and because of the treacherous turn, so that's actually a specific term. If you look it up, the treacherous turn is another hypothesis by Yudkowsky that basically says the AI will pretend to be benevolent until it has accumulated enough power, and then it will suddenly go evil for reasons. His theory is obviously a little bit more sophisticated than that. But the point is that Anthropic believes these theories. And if you understand that Anthropic believes these theories, then all of their behavior becomes rational. They want to steer from within, meaning that they want to get a big seat at the table and also have the best model in the world, so that when they shut it down, they're the ones with the keys. They want their finger on the kill switch, and they believe that they're the only ones who know how. So another way to understand this is Dario released a blog last week where he basically said these are extraordinary circumstances, and the formal the formal policy is too slow. Now, I took major issue with that because basically he's saying the government is too slow to respond to the fire that we started, so therefore we have to suspend normal procedure. That is a playbook, or a page right out of the playbook, of what Hitler literally used to do to get control of Germany with the Reichstag fire. Now, I'm not saying that Dario is Hitler, but I'm saying that he's reverse engineering public manipulation from first principles. So that's kind of my long and short take about Anthropic and where they're at. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you everyone who has been signing up for supporting me and my work. I might slow down my blogs and video production because I'm really focusing on the audiobook now for Labor Zero, and it is a lot of work. Since I'm an amateur, I'm a little bit slower at recording the narration, but I'm practicing and I'm getting faster. Anyways, basically my voice has only so many hours per day, so I try and dedicate as much of it to practicing narration and actually recording narration. And yeah, so that's that, and thanks for watching, and I'll check y'all next time. Cheers.